Ice factory boss turns out to be an underground violent drug dealer. Chung, who promised his mother he would leave violence forever, goes to Thailand. However, he finds it hard to keep his promise when he sees injustice and wrongdoing all around him. Will he be able to stick to his promise and bring justice to his surroundings? Strap in, movie enthusiasts. It's recap time. Today, we will be diving into the story of an action film, The Big Boss, from the year 1971. So, let's start. Chung arrives in Thailand, stepping off a boat. As Chung arrives, he is met by Uncle Wang, an older family friend who works at the local ice factory. Uncle Wang greets Chung warmly. Uncle Wang tells him that he's here to help him. He leads him through the bustling Thai streets, pointing out local landmarks and food stalls. They both stop at a small food stall to grab a quick bite to eat. As they're waiting, a few rowdy men behave aggressively toward the stall owner's woman. The men laugh loudly, make inappropriate comments and advances toward her, and clearly enjoy her discomfort. Chung, seeing the harassment, begins to tense up. But just as he's about to intervene, Uncle Wang gently places a hand on his shoulder, reaching up to touch his jade necklace, a reminder of the vow he made to his mother to avoid violence. He stops himself to respect his promise. They start bullying a boy who comes to sell his dumplings. They take dumplings from him but don't pay, and instead begin to tease him. The boy goes to his brother, Shu, who is standing nearby, and tells him what's happening. Shu fights with the bullies, defeats them, and makes them run away. Uncle Wang and Chung recognize Shu and go to greet him. Shu is very happy to see them, and takes them to his home to introduce them to the rest of the cousins. They talk during dinner, and Chung's cousins suggest taking him to work at the ice factory the next day. Chung begins his work at the ice factory. One day, while he is on duty, an ice block accidentally breaks apart. To Chung's shock, a bag filled with white powdery drugs tumbles out from inside the ice. His two cousins, Wang and Chang, who happen to be visiting the factory, quickly pick up the bag, unaware of its dangerous contents. They are instructed by one of the factory workers to meet the manager later that night to discuss what to do with the bag. Unbeknownst to Chung and his cousins, the ice factory is not what it seems. It serves as a front for a drug smuggling operation run by a notorious figure named Xiao Mi, also known as the Big Boss. Xiao Mi is deeply involved in illegal activities, using the factory as a cover to transport drugs without attracting attention from law enforcement. As the night approaches, they are called by the factory manager, and he offers them $2,000 to stay silent. But they decide that they want no part in this illegal operation and express their intention to leave. However, this refusal infuriates the factory manager, Chan Chue, who is deeply loyal to Xiao Mi and will go to great lengths to protect the drug operation. Seeing Wang and Chang as a threat to his business, Chan Chui takes swift action. He orders his enforcers, a group of thugs known for their ruthless methods, to take care of the situation. Among them is the foreman, Chom, who is known for his brutality. Chan Chue gives the order to eliminate Wang and Chang and to dispose of their bodies, ensuring that there is no evidence of the drug operation that could lead to its exposure. Meanwhile, Su Qian and his friend Ah Pei are worried about their two friends, Wang and Chang, who have not returned from the factory. They go to the factory manager to ask about them, but the manager gives them a vague answer. He says that Wang and Chang went to see the boss and suggests that they should ask Xiao Mi if they want more information, implying that he doesn't know where they are. Concerned for their friends, Shu Qian and Ah Pei decide to go to Xiao Mi's mansion to find out what happened. Xiao Mi is sitting in the courtyard, watching his men practice martial arts. After observing them for a while, he steps in and calls for his son, Xiao Qiun, to stop fighting. He shows Qiun some moves and explains how to improve his technique. Once the practice session is over, Xiao Qiun approaches his father and asks for $2,000, saying he wants to use the money to bring back a beautiful girl as a treat for himself. Xiao Mi gives his son what he wants. Afterward, Xiao Mi goes to meet Su Qian and Ah Pei, who are anxiously waiting for answers about their missing friends. When they confront him about Wang and Cheng, Xiao Mi pretends he doesn't know anything. He tells them that the two were doing a great job at the factory, and that he rewarded them for their hard work, and then they left after being rewarded. Su Qian is suspicious of Xiao Mi's story. He doubts the boss's words. Xiao Mi notices Shu's doubt and coldly tells him to mind his own business, warning him that he has the power to make him rich if he stays loyal and doesn't interfere. Shu becomes furious and starts questioning the boss's true intentions. He threatens to report everything to the police. In response, Xiao orders his gang to take care of Shu and his friend. A brutal fight breaks out, and in the end, both Shu and his friend are killed. Their bodies are carefully hidden to prevent any risk of exposing Xiao's criminal operations. Meanwhile, back home, the family grows increasingly worried as they wait for Shu's return. When dawn arrives and Shu is still nowhere to be found, the family decides to confront the factory manager for answers. They ask him directly about Shu's whereabouts, and he replies that he spoke to the boss, who claimed Shu and his friend had indeed come by, stayed briefly, chatted, and then left. Suspicious, the family accuses the manager of lying, noting that anyone who goes to see the boss rarely ever returns. The factory manager, feigning helplessness, suggests that perhaps Shu went off to pick up some girls or gamble in Bangkok. The family, however, disagrees, knowing that such behavior doesn't match Shu's character. When the workers at the ice factory find out that Shu is also missing, their anger boils over, and they start a riot against the management. Things get violent as the management calls in hired thugs, who show up in a red bus to help them. During the fight, one of the thugs accidentally breaks Cheng's amulet, which is very special to him. Angry about his broken amulet, Cheng jumps into the fight with even more energy, beating several of the thugs until they run away. To calm things down, the factory manager promotes Cheng to foreman. He also invites Cheng to a dinner that night. At the same time, Cheng plans to go to the police station about Shu's disappearance. At the dinner party, Cheng drinks too much and ends up getting drunk. Sun Wuman, a prostitute who is also at the party, takes advantage of this and seduces him. When Cheng's family and friends find out that he went to a dinner instead of the police station, they feel more and more uneasy. They start thinking he's becoming too proud, caring more about his new position than about finding their missing loved ones. He is not anymore the same person he was before the position. Everyone begins to resent him, except for Qiao Mei, who stays loyal and defends him when others criticize him. Cheng travels to meet Xiao Qiun, who decides to put him through a challenging test first. To see how strong and capable Cheng is, Xiao Qiun sets wild dogs loose at the gate. Cheng bravely fights off the dogs. Once the test is over, Cheng finally meets Xiao Qiun. Xiao Qiun puts on an act, assuring Cheng that he is working tirelessly to locate Shu Cheng. He pretends to be a caring leader, emphasizing how much he values his workers and how hard he has worked to achieve his success, despite the jealousy from others around him. In an effort to further impress Cheng, Xiao Qiun calls his son over. He pretends to scold him for not doing enough to find the missing persons. This whole scene is a performance, though, for Cheng. Feeling satisfied, Cheng leaves Xiao Qiun's presence. Meanwhile, Xiao Qiun has plans of his own. He wants to capture Qiao Mei to please his father, and tells his father that he has found her location and intends to bring her back soon. Cheng, overwhelmed by feelings of sadness and isolation, decides to seek out Sun for support. When he arrives, Sun expresses her concern for Cheng's safety. She warns him that his life is at risk because of the people he's dealing with. Sun reveals shocking information that Xiaomi is running a drug trafficking operation. This illegal business is what has allowed Xiaomi to accumulate so much money and power. Sun shows Cheng some burn marks on her arms, remnants of her painful past. She explains that she once worked for Xiaomi and that the people involved in the drug trade are extremely dangerous. Her experiences have left her wary and fearful, and she wants Cheng to understand the real threat he is facing. Cheng realizes just how dangerous this situation has become. As soon as Cheng leaves, Xiao Qiun sneaks in and without hesitation kills Sun by throwing a knife straight into her heart from behind. Afterward, Cheng rushes to the factory. Inside, he first discovers a stash of drugs, realizing the scale of the operation. However, as he continues to search, he stumbles upon a horrific sight and finds a severed hand, along with the decapitated heads of Sun and Su Qian, both frozen in ice and displaying expressions of terror. Just then, Cheng finds himself surrounded by Xiao Qiun and a group of his men, ready to confront him. Fueled by rage and grief, Chung fights fiercely to escape. He battles Xiao Chun and his gang, determined to avenge Sun's death. One by one, he takes them down, ultimately killing Xiao Chun in the process. He comes home and discovers that his family has been killed and Chiao Mei is missing. Heartbroken by the river, he promises to get revenge, even if it means breaking his promise to never use violence. Cheng then attacks Xiaomi's mansion to fight him and his men. At the same time, one of Xiaomi's unhappy servants frees Chiao Mei, who is locked up in a small room. She escapes to find help from the police. After a tough fight, Chung defeats Xiaomi by kicking away a knife that Mei throws at him. When he sees Chiao Mei is safe with the police, he gives himself up when they arrive at the mansion and gets arrested. The movie ends with the crowd walking back to the police car to leave the mansion. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching and see you next time.